honest. A good day to be alive. Come to think of it, every day's a good day to be alive.
Thanks for joining us for another Chronic Conversations. Really great show tonight, as you can already see. Before we get started, let me give my usual shout out to Not Bad Creations. Any kind of paracord needs that you have, from get backs to keychains to bracelets, they have it, all kinds of colors. They're very creative and they're all done by hand. So if you have some ideas, pass them along and they'll get it made for you. And we appreciate that. Quick shout out to Thompson's Personal Training and Sean Thompson. Get to him for all your personal training and nutrition needs. Now, without further ado, our guest for this evening, Skitzy the Clown. Skitzy, thanks for being on here with us, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm actually honored. I have kind of been in the shadows for a while, so I forgot how to, do all this. But thanks for having me, man. I'm honored.
It's an honor for me too. Let me tell you why. I followed you for a little while, and I'm like you. I've never been a big fan of clown gimmicks in general, for wrestling, for most anything other than horror movies.
No one's ever going to be Doink again, man. No one.
No, yeah, and they're just and part of that's that reason, because one of the things we talked about, there's not originality. Everybody's either trying to be something they see it, and I don't mind when they take parts of that or elements of that for their character, but I don't like straight up copies. And you were really original in the fact that, like we talked about,
thanks, man.
You look like a horror clown, but it's about the comedy, and they mesh kind of so perfectly. First of all, what led you to being this clown, and what all kind of things went into creating the character of Skitzy?
This clown, it was I started off at a moose lodge around the corner doing charity work, and I had no clue about any kind of makeup, but I was fascinated, this sounds silly, by black lights and all the designs they had, but their clowns just weren't the greatest. So I decided, I'm like, next year I'm going to take over and build the clown area, and I'm going to give this clown thing a run. And down the road at the Haley Temple, I had some friends that had already started a clown group, and they had invited me. Well, one of them did at one time, but I was like, man, y'all look great. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just an amateur doing makeup. And I started digging into the mask world, and I saw this one. I didn't think about it too much. I just remembered not seeing a lot of purple clowns. There's a lot of orange, a lot of reds.
Right.
It was just, at first, it was kind of a horror-ish thing. I wanted to be scary, but I saw that that's just what everybody was doing. And I'm not going to lie, it's not hard to put this thing on and go, boo, or look crazy, So
you already look scary, so that's it's done for you, kind of, right?
Yeah, thank you. That was kind of the thing. It's like I just wanted to, stand out. I'm not trying to be better than anybody, but this actually fits my personality. It's like a lot of people will say, that's a part of my clown personality. I'm like, I'm not really too different without all this on it. Hell, I'm not different at all. I'm kind of an idiot all the time, basically. Right. So, yeah, man.
Did that have anything to do? Did you have, of course, like we all wear masks, obviously, but was that part of that for you? Did that help open up your inhibitions maybe and help you be more of you, or were you already you and that just transitioned right into the clown?
It basically did. Once like I said, I didn't feel like anybody would care, with the crap makeup job I was doing. I'd still like to. I just don't have the patience for it. But when I put this on, and it took me a while to actually go online, but that's what everybody was doing. There were so many that I had seen, and I was like, yeah, he's funny. But I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of them I can't stand to sit in front of the camera and listen to, because it's like they water it down. They try too hard. It's not very organic. And,
it's not them, probably. See, that's what shines through, I think, with you, and what attracted that vibe in the first place, is because I feel like this is just you being you. And a lot of them, like I said, not only in aesthetics, but in their personalities, they're clowns from outer space, or they're this clown or that clown, and it's not. There's no depth to it. I like your clown. There's depth to it. I like things with depth that appear on the surface not to have depth, but then it does. That fascinates me.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, my head's about to blow up before I get done with this. I know, and I feel exactly like you do. Yeah, sure. I'd still like to dabble. Still have a lot of friends and a lot of love for the wrestling world, but I didn't. Most people are like, well, you've already got a gimmick. I'm like, yeah, well, that's what I was telling you. I kind of like to do different things with this. Wrestling has always been a childhood passion. So,
right.
I'm even uglier without this thing on. So it's kind of like, it was good for wrestling, but did I think that I was going to be like the new age clown or something? No, I see a lot of people wrestling and clown, and I kind of feel like you do. I'm like, nah, we're kind of imposterish, but it's what you do with it.
It is. It's because no matter how cool your makeup is, it's the you behind that really cool makeup that will really make the clown or the character or the gimmick or the part in a movie or show or any kind of thing like that. It's the depth of who you are that you bring elements to that into whatever you're trying to portray or story you're trying to tell. What other ways do you like to tell stories with your clown so far? I know I've seen some of your TikTok stuff that I'd actually
Lord.
Actually already seen that, and I think it's hilarious.
No, man, that's I've thought about, picking up the instruments again, and I know that other haunts have like bands to do things in between. There's not really, I love haunting, but I've thought about, putting this away, not be completely on this the whole year, but
right.
My haunt owners do love this. Like I've been like I was saying, I took a break. I've been off, not focusing on any of this to clear my mind, work on work and stuff. And I even told them, I was like, I'm considering hanging it up. He's like, well, please don't, think about it more. You can always come out and at least build with us and stuff. And I'm like, that means a lot, man. But
the important thing is too, just to take breaks when you need them, to give yourself that time like you did. As long as you're not forcing it, I think you'll be fine. It's when you get to that point to where you have to force it that it starts to become a little fake and things like that. So it's good sometimes that you do give yourself a break. How hard is that makeup to put on? How long does it take you usually?
This being a mask, the makeup is eyeliner and cover my mouth, and you can't see it from the lighting. I dirty myself up. That probably takes me 5 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad at all then. So
it's throwing in the contacts and.
Oh, it's really great for pro wrestling too, because I've seen guys with simple makeup jobs that were so intricate that it takes them, they're there 2 hours before the show putting on the makeup and stuff.
And just for it to get rubbed off, I'd be like, God damn it.
Like it's cool when you're a kid, but when you start wrestling, the same thing with masks. It was so tough for me I put on a hood a couple times. I was like, as cool as this was as a kid, and as cool as it'd be to kind of portray that, I'm like, no, I ain't wrestling in a fucking hood.
No.
I'm good. I like breathing. I like to be able to see.
I didn't do too much. I played more of a management role. I was kind of helping in the beginning with Coastal Empire Wrestling. I was in a rumble. I got thrown out. One time this wrestler, Eddie Honcho, kind of gave me the Rikishi, and I was kind of pretty much ate his ass. And that, it's fun. It was fun because the crowd reactions.
The wrestling or the eating ass?
What's that?
The wrestling or the eating ass?
Oh, the eating ass was, I still have a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
It was like
stuff mouthwash does not get rid of.
No, all I could think about was like hot, sweaty locker room after football practice. Is like this. He was a
body spray.
No, he's just a big kid. He was damn near like a Rikishi, so it was like all sweaty, and I was like, oh God. It was horrible, but
this is definitely more fun to watch than participate in.
Yeah, I still get the chills when I go back and watch it. You might have to find my Instagram. It's on there somewhere. I should erase it because I see his name pop up. I saw that he was on a flyer the other day, and all I can think about is that moment. It's like PTSD. I'm never gonna get that shit out of my house.
Yeah, of all the shit, it's like it's like I've been through this, and this, but this is what I really want to talk about. Okay, get ready.
Yeah, I kind of interfered. It was a hardcore match, so there was really no rules, and he had just beaten the shit.
It had to be hardcore.
Well, I probably would have let my buddy take the loss if I'd have known that was going to be the outcome.
Right.
He had just gotten his ass beat by. Like Eddie had just beaten him to hell with a belt, and I was like, all right, I've had enough. I was like, you're not going to rough him up like that. I was like, he's had enough, and he kind of bitch slapped me, and I found myself in the corner, and laid out. And the next thing you know, it was like an eclipse, and everybody's yelling, and yeah, my little feet you could just see kicking, like, oh, let me out of this shit.
Almost like the Little Witch in Wizard of Oz or something.
That's exactly what
the toes curling up.
Right. That's exactly what it was like, man. It's horrible.
So, you and I got in touch. Actually, I was looking, excuse me, for some actors for some of the mini projects I have coming up, and I was really excited when I saw that you had inquired because, like I said, I followed you for a while as a fan, so it's always cool to get to work with people you respect their stuff.
There's that head blowing up again.
Yeah, we have. I feel like we have some pretty good ideas and a direction to go to do some fun stuff with the clown in both, some comic / comedy horror areas that is going to be different. It's not going to be Terrifier the Clown. It's not Clowns from Outer Space. It's Skitzy.
Yeah, Terrifier's like a fucking Rob Zombie clown movie.
Yes,
is basically what it was.
Well,
it's like I like
that's the two sides. Like you have Clowns from Outer Space over here, and then you got that on the other side. It's like we want to be somewhere in the middle. Nice.
That's where I'm trying, man. I'm trying to be different than the pioneers of this craft called the clown.
Yeah, I really think just telling your story, like I said, I think a really good and please, people, comment on this if you agree or disagree. But I think a good story to go with at first, I always like, even on these podcasts, is to do an origin tale. Now, I know it's pretty dark that you told me before, so we definitely have to polish it up some. But I feel like that's something people might want to see because as a fan, that's what I want to see. How do you feel about that? Do you think
hey, man, yes, that would be pretty damn awesome. No, that's been one of the brainstorms too. I'm like, what do I cover? I found this is where the epiphany of it's time to come out happened. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'd stepped away from a little bit, and another one of my side loves is making masks and making props for the haunt or whatnot. And I've spent a lot of time, more recently than I had, making a mask, and just the nights out there and the peace of not the pressure, etc., reminded me how much I love doing that. But it also made me have this, like I said, a giant epiphany of how much time I had been spending the past couple years on other people, other things, trying to help promote and do things as a group, and try and bring everybody along for a piece of the pie. And yes. I got caught up in the cesspool of what the clown community is. And the clown community, I'm not going to lie, like I said earlier, I used to love the thought of going to cons and meeting clowns that I hadn't. But man, the thing about clowns is, it's people that are clowns. And
exactly. And
they're the worst. People are the worst.
Lots of peoples have lots of assholes that they are. So it definitely, and it's the same way in everything, especially when you get more than a group of people together. The bigger the group, the more the situations like that happen where now everybody's trying to do their little stuff. So it's good.
It's good to vibe. Yeah, I was gonna say it's good to vibe and stuff like that and collaborate, but in the end, some give a little more than others, and it's not a competition of you owe me or that. It's just, no, I was bitter about a lot of things. I was salty about a lot of things, but now I'm like, you know what? I did it, and that's why I'm like, now it's things like this. That's why I got excited about it. I was like, well, it's kind of like, I'll give it a try if I qualify, but that's where my mind was. Is like, I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I've got a notebook.
Same thing, man. And then it just, like I said, it just everything from, the thing I put on Facebook to you getting in touch to everything started coming together. And I really relate to that because one of the things I love about doing this is there's a lot of people are really excited about all these projects, and like you said, it gives me a chance because there's been people that have brought me along. Now I get a chance to kind of return the favor and plant a seed for people, if nothing else. Maybe you'll decide that acting is where you want to go, or somebody will see you, or there's no telling what can happen through these kind of things. And I don't necessarily have any kind of pipe dreams, but I know it's going to be a damn good fucking time. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about creating, and I'm excited about creating with fun people and collaborating with people like you. Oh Lord, she got a crazy picture. Sorry about that. All kinds of.
You gotta show everybody now. No, I'm just kidding.
That was scarier than the clown pic. We'll throw that sometime on Patreon. But yeah, I think we got some pretty fun projects coming up. I see a lot of things that we can slide you into, and feel free at any point in time to put in any kind of input you have, because no matter what you think you're saying or how it feels like you're saying, I want to hear it anyway, because usually those best ideas are the ones you argue with about yourself to tell, and you're like, no, that's blah blah, but those are always the best fucking ideas.
Yeah, what's the worst thing you can say? Nah, you know what I mean? It's like not everybody's gonna agree.
Yeah, some things we're going to do and they're just not going to work, or they're not going to vibe, and that's okay too, because a lot of people are kind of afraid to fail. I'm not. I'll fail 1,000 times for one really great success, because each time I learn a little something, I get a little bit closer, and I lose a little bit less, even if I don't win. So I really think that if you just keep pushing forward, you're going to meet goals and find some version of success, whether it's financial success or just a feeling of sort of fulfillment and doing these things as well. So definitely,
yeah, exactly.
Started.
I hope that when I said I feel like I've spent a lot of time on everybody else, I hope that doesn't sound selfish. It's just
no, not at all. I understand, because you're a giver. I can tell, and you have to be careful, because as givers you attract takers, and that's fine too, because everybody has their role, but you got to have boundaries, and it's really hard if you don't set boundaries. So all you're just telling me, what it sounds like to me, is you decided to set some boundaries for a change in your life, and that's not selfish at all. That's taking care of your own mental health, because I hate to sound cliche, but you can't pour from an empty fucking cup, right? You got to pull yourself up. You got to take care of you, and in taking care of you, you're going to take care of everybody else you take of a lot better.
It's taken me a long time to get this thought process. Skitzy's not just a cool name. It's like what my doctor used to call me. I thought it was just a cool nickname. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm an unbiased person, mostly when it comes to everybody else around me. So I might think this, but I understand why a person thinks this or does this. And somewhere along the process, when I'm being fair, I hate being misunderstood. I am constantly misunderstood. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, I hope nobody thought I was being selfish.
Of course, yeah. Well, in being a giver, you can be a bit of a people pleaser as well. I'm sure that's part of the clown thing too, right? To be accepted. You just happen to be wearing a clown mask, and I just happen to be a clown. We're both clowns, but on different tops. Really, we're just.
Absolutely. And, this might be something for you, because again, this might sound like an asshole thing. People would ask, what does it take to be a clown or something other? And I have opinions. Like I said, not everybody's built for this. I don't think I said that. I always think it. But not everybody's built to jump in a wrestling ring or pick up a guitar and play.
That's okay.
The clown calls natural people. Some other people force it. I don't think okay, so maybe I kind of do. The clown called me. I've got a lot of fucked up shit in my head. You know what I mean? It's like, people do it for different reasons. A lot of people do it for marketing, popularity. They have low self-esteem. They're narcissists. Who knows?
Right.
But a lot of mine it's kind of like I lost my dad and my grandma like all in a year span. And those were my two biggest support systems. This isn't like trying to be a sad story. This is just like my world got turned the fuck upside down on me one day, and I had to grow up and like start figuring all this shit out on myself, on my own or whatnot. And a lot of this, when I have this on, I don't have to be that guy that's,
exactly.
you know, I don't even get on a human Facebook. People are like, what's your Facebook? What about your human? I'm like, shit, I haven't logged on to that thing and I can't fucking remember. It's probably been canceled or something, you know?
Right, yeah.
This is who I am. My boss calls me Skitzy. You know, he's like, I'll have people go, are you the clown? I'll be like, oh my God, people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's it's like you said, that's who you are. It's not really a gimmick for you. It's like me wearing camouflage or picking to wear Adidas or whatever. This is the look you went with, and it's you.
Here it is, yeah. I could have thought better about having green and the purple because everybody's like, what are you, supposed to be the Joker? I'm like, fuck no, man. Like,
no, yeah, I can only imagine people trying to be hilarious. So many comedians, which is something else not everybody can do.
No. No, I was told that
comedians, guys.
I was told that all my life. You should be a comedian. You should be a comedian. I've actually recently, when I said I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go, and that's that wouldn't stop the filming. That's just like, where all can I go? You know, that's one thing I've wanted to do. I've been in contact.
Yeah, why limit yourself?
Yeah, but you would be surprised. It's like, I could get up and slay a show maybe 5 times in a row, but the 6th time, you're still not going to make me less nervous to do it or beat myself up or be, oh my God, can I fucking do this? It's like performance anxiety. It's like I can be unmastered something and like, ugh.
Well, people see this and they meet people like me, and I'm sure you too, and they automatically jump and think like I'm an extrovert, and I'm not. I'm such an introvert. I'm shy. I don't do phone calls a lot. I'm a texter. Even though I'm sitting here, talking with you now, this is a little bit easier because at least I can see you. I can see your facial expressions, and I feel more comfortable in this conversation than this.
I was kidding.
Voice.
No, that's funny you say that because I'm an ambivert. I'm both. I'm the introverted extrovert or whatever. It's like,
I get extroverted, but it drains me really quickly. Like, I got to take the times like you do. Like, there's times where I'll just disappear from Facebook for 2 or 3 days, or, I may not be able to put out a podcast this week because I just need that time to recoup. And once I do, I figured out it's almost like a fucking great power nap or something. Like, I'm reinvigorated. Damn, say that.
Reinvigorated?
Yeah, make up your own English words, buddy, okay? Let me say mine. My dad used to say my tongue got in front of my eye tooth and I couldn't say what I was saying.
My mom, she's murdered the King's English. I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, man, that's see, this might even be more than, like you said, things falling in place. And I said, I feel like this is meant to be. Like, I am super jacked about this, and I haven't had that drive.
I have a buzz. Right. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing that when I really get, because I've got a litany of mental things as well, and nothing gets me more manic than getting my creative juices flowing. It's really, growing up was pretty traumatic. I have a pretty crazy origin story as well, and I always say there was like a few things that helped me along the way, and that was stand-up comedy. I always loved stand-up comedy. It was an escape. Professional wrestling was my other one, and then horror movies. So that right there about how fucked up I am.
Nah, man. I guess we'll be fucked up together. Two fucked up people in the pod, I guess.
But I think that's what we're doing. I feel like I'm finally really, truly starting to attract my tribe instead of trying to force a tribe that just, like you joined a group of clowns and you're like, I don't like being in a group of clowns. To me, I like the diversity. Like, I don't want to be in a group of me. Fucking deal with, I got to deal with this guy 24/7. I want to hang out with a clown and a goth girl and this different culturally from within America vibes and stuff all coming into the tribe. And I think, like you said, we'll be fucked up together. I think once we start entertaining, we're going to attract.
It's going to make great content for sure.
On the next Dateline, it all started on the podcast.
No, man, we're on the same page, and
Yeah.
it's like a fucking relief for a change, you know.
Like I said, because you were probably dealing with people where you had to force it, and it just wasn't.
I really have. I'm not gonna lie, and I've been in and out of clown groups. I'll be like, well, Skitzy was in this group, and he was in this group, and he was in this group. It's like, I see what you have to offer, and it's like, well, it was more like you said earlier. It was more take than giving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why. Well, I was always a free agent, but I did get with this one group, and they were like, be in this virtual call and be in this, and you got to go live and have this schedule. I'm like, man, sometimes I come home from work and I'm like, I don't fucking feel like it.
For that, I need this.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost everything I do, all these things, I put my own money into to finance what little I can through the, I'm very good at finding solutions. So, I had a laptop that didn't push the editing system I have, so I found another fucking, a program. I got some cameras and lights and figured out that even though my cameras and lights aren't the best, I can fix a lot of that shit in editing. And so you find solutions to these things. Like I said, you fail and you learn and you get back on that horse again. Is that something that you feel like you're doing right now? You're kind of getting back up on that horse again.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I was salty about a lot of things. Not gonna lie, I'm a
human.
I can get just.
There ain't nobody gonna watch this. Don't worry about it.
Nah, just kidding. Like, no, I do give passionately in the things that I put my heart into, and when we could talk in circles about the same shit, but yeah, I'm absolutely there.
And that can make it seem like to some people we may be an asshole too, and it's not. It's just that we do care so much about what we do. Some people are like, well, how can you care because you don't have this camera or do this or do that, and it's like I'm doing what I can with what I can, and I'm still providing entertainment, and my goal is to provide what I had provided to me in childhood, and that is somebody that's bored to have something to do that's entertaining to them. That somebody that had a bad day is like, fuck work, let me see what Skitzy's doing. Let me go see what the Chronic Chronicles have on. I want them to have that escape that I had. So I guess that's my way of kind of giving back. Do you find being a clown, and I can tell you're a giver and things like that, that's part of why you're a clown, is to give to people that kind of relief?
Well, yeah, anything I have to offer in that aspect, again, is kind of like what I said about wrestling. I don't do this for attention, but it gets attention. And so people might see me without this and be like, it's just another fat guy in the ring. But if I came out there and they'd be like, they'll remember that, so it's not, I don't do it because look at me. I've actually learned to use this platform. Like, that is one thing I'm blessed to have had doing this, and never thought, like, it doesn't mean much. It might be one person here, one person, like having an international fan base, having people that like watch you from all over the world, dude. That's like, some of these people would literally get on live feeds and be like, share, thank you for the like, share it out, everybody. I'll get started. I'm like, I get it. I get the build up, but I'm like, I will sit there for an hour and entertain one fucking person because they gave me that hour of their time, you know?
Their presence. That's something. That's the greatest gift. I say that at the end of almost all my podcasts. I thank my guests and tell them, like I'm going to thank you for giving me something that you can't get back, and that's a piece of your time. I mean, that's very valuable. It's the most valuable thing we have, even though most people don't realize that. It's our most valuable resource, and you shared a piece of that with me, and I'm a very appreciative and grateful person for things like that, because I know how little time there is to give out. So if somebody's giving me a little bit, either you on this show or somebody watching something I do or sharing something or liking something, just the littlest things, like I'm so appreciative and grateful because they took their time to do something for somebody else, and that's great.
Don't worry, man. You've already paid it tenfold in flattery.
I just want to make sure the check clears before I do any more flattery. So we'll talk.
Heard, yeah. Right. No, and what I was going to say earlier about the saltiness, man, is like, it's kind of like, I feel like I can see myself as the brat, but thank you for seeing me as a human. I will always be the one to say nothing is in vain if you learn from it. And, sometimes you can get shit on. We've all been shit on, and let's face it. If I'm being honest with myself, I open myself up to it. You know, I will say things like, "You give an inch, they'll take a mile."
Right.
I still gave an inch.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Great at giving advice, but taking it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I wish that you could give an inch.
Confucius.
I love some Confucius now.
Yeah. I anything to give me, I love it too, because I like things that give me different perspectives. I like things that I have a very open mind. I like things that change it. I like bringing new information in and processing it and having fun with it and stuff. What is some of the things you take in for your entertainment to kind of escape and get away and things like that?
Jesus. I go back to, I make, do the mass thing, but just music. Like, I pretty much stay blazed. So, you know what I mean? Like that's probably half my damn problem with getting shit done.
Right. Yeah.
Nah, I work 6 days a week. I'm not gonna lie, you know. So that's kind of been a thing too. Is that was the wearing and feeling like I've forced a lot of things. It's like I've been away so long. I'm like I don't want to put too much on my own plate now. But just music. I love music and this. You know what I mean? I want to network. There's a lot of things I want to do for Wicked South because we have so much time and. Like it's like a baby, you know. I spend time like talking to sponsors or just networking with people to do business. You know, that makes me feel good. People have always said you have a silver tongue. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'd cut that bitch out if it'd make me some money. Right?
Yeah. I'd pawn that shit. They pawn it. They sell those by weight or what?
Right. No, you know. I don't even find time for TV anymore. It's like it seems like I come home and it's time to go to bed. It's time to get back up.
Right.
So I'll watch a few shows. I love some Rick and Morty. There's a vampire show called What We Do in the Shadows. I like. That's pretty weird and funny. But
I do like that one. Yeah. Anything.
You see,
vampires my favorite. So.
I could not stop thinking last night about the superb owl. If you ever saw that episode where like the vampires thought they were going to a superb owl party.
I remember the first time I saw just a preview to that show, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be it for sure because the humor was right up my alley. Love the vampires.
Did you see the full length movie before the series?
No, there's a full.
You're gonna have to check. That is so fucking hilarious because I thought. I was like, you cannot combine vampires and humor. This is going to be so fucking stupid. Now it's like one of my favorite movies ever. Like, these guys are fucking brilliant.
They were kind of a big inspiration. They're one of the many inspirations that gave me the idea to do the satire of Interview with the Vampire with the Interview with the Vampire.
It was fucking hilarious. You slayed that, man. That was great. I was just like...
Yeah, that was fun. I had it. He's the Prometheus of the birth of everything else. There was somebody else that had a TV show, and I thought of this character. I just thought the concept of a stupid guy that the light hurt his eyes, and that made him think he was a vampire. Funny concept. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I asked this guy, I'm like, yeah, let me come on the show. He's like, yeah, but we'll have you do this character. And I'm like, but again, it wasn't me. I had to do something from within here already. I couldn't. So that was a lot of fun creating that character. There'll be a lot of. I'm sure at some point in time he'll meet Skitzy.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. He's going to definitely have continued adventures throughout the Chronic Chronicles, which is going to be so fun to do as well. Anywhere from 3 to 5 minute skits covering anything and everything. Again, that one is not going to be a kid-friendly show. There will be some adult content for sure.
Fuck! No,
yeah. So if you're planning on using it as a babysitter, I'm sorry, you're going to have to put on Baby Shark duty, dude.
No, that's I'm looking forward to it. Like we in our discussions, I want a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I love this, and I'm always going to hold on to it, but I want to evolve my talents because I'm not just Skitzy the Clown. I'm not just a haunter. I consider myself an actor and an entertainer. You know what I mean? I've been, and that we did. It's kind of ironic that you have a love for vampires. That was one of my first horror loves. And we took a break. We got the clown thing established when I was still at the Moose Lodge, and my girlfriend and rest his soul, friend of mine, passed away a couple years ago.
R.I.P.
No, none of his friends are going to watch this. Nobody's going to know. He actually had some heart shit go wrong from taking too much Viagra. And if you could bring him back to life, he would not have rather gone anyway. But the whole point of that is he was one of my best building friends. And we did there was the start of a mine shaft. So I finished the mine shaft, made it something spectacular. And then I decided this is going to be a vampire lair.
Oh,
so
nice.
we turned the mine shaft into a vampire lair, and I had so much fun because I'm like, any haunt that I've gone to, and I had same concept. I was like, I've always had the love for vampires, but I don't see vampires ever. So I was like, we're gonna be vampires this year.
I haven't really noticed that though. That's true.
That's true.
I haven't noticed. There's always a chainsaw guy, and there's always some clowns.
There's always 10 fucking chainsaw guys. You're like, God
and
damn.
sometimes some chainsaw clowns.
Yep, we had some of those for a while. That should only be an absolutely last thing to chase you the fuck away. It shouldn't be midway because you're like, oh my God, this is getting boring. Oh, here's another guy with a chainsaw. It's like, again.
That's what makes it special is making it. People think, well, they have that drug mentality. You know, if one's good, 50,000 will be great. It's like, no. Sometimes the sparingness of it is what, it doesn't oversaturate. Then you have a chance to enjoy it more, like a steak or a chocolate bar. Eat it 5 a day every day, it's going to lose its.
Absolutely, man. That's a good perspective. Like moderation. I don't know what the lesson would be but that's how I feel about I used to go out all the time. I used to be like, oh, I gotta go get shit faced. I'm like, man, it doesn't mean anything if you do it all the time. It's like now, like going out on a special occasion or some people are in town. I'm like, I'm having fucking fun again. It's kind of like what we're talking about here when you just going through the motions all the time, you're just like, man, fuck. But
just go from zombie mode to, as much as I love zombies and zombie movies, I do not want to be one of those. However, if there's anybody that can make me a vampire, I'm down. Maybe a clown. I don't think those are there. That's definitely or are there?
Well, I mean, the killer clowns from outer space were pretty much drinking your blood out of the cotton candy. So I guess they were as close as you can get.
Yeah.
And then was that before it? Because I can't remember. Those are both way when I was a wee little lad. So
yeah, me too. That's
who stole the alien clown concept from the other?
Yeah, definitely.
Someone get Tim Curry on the goddamn phone.
I know, right? And that's such a good one. I'm so looking forward to. Speaking of horror, there's so much good horror and TV shows and movies coming out, including Derryberry. Speaking of it, so much fun stuff coming up. And the one thing I do watch is horror. That's probably 95% of what we watch. Horror and podcasts is my entertainment now outside of creating.
I'm watching stuff too and playing this zombie game on my phone usually when I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep. I'm like, no wonder you feel miserable every day. You're like, I'll go to bed in a minute, and you wake up or look and it's like, oh fuck, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's been 8 hours. It's time.
Yeah, right. Jesus. No wonder I'm not very productive in life.
No. Well, man, where all can people find you right now? Facebook, right? I know you got some interesting projects with us coming up with Greened Out Productions.
Facebook, they're like fucking algorithm Nazis to me. Like I've tried to do promoting things. I wanted to promote music or whatnot. And like you start sharing from other pages and they're like, no. Yeah. So I spent my earliest years, I've been doing this, 6? As a clown, I've been a haunter for over 10, but the clown for at least 6 or 7 now. I started off on Instagram doing live feeds because everybody was doing Facebook. And then I got on Facebook and realized how toxic it is and how horrible. But then I was just, I can be an asshole and stubborn sometimes because everybody was doing TikTok. That's why I didn't want to do TikTok, because everything I saw was this clown that I know doing something next to this clown. So I didn't know you could actually put your own content on there. So when my haunt owner, who's a little bit
more savvy,
technologically a dinosaur, he's the one that created the one where I don't think I sent you that one where I'm pretty much drilling for oil. I shoved this. He collects antiques, so I have this big hand drill and I'm shoving it up the guy whose ass I was in the tub with playing with dolls, and he designed that. He was like, "Hey, I was Skitzy. I was thinking maybe you and Booger could. I was like, say less. I just saw that, and I'm like, and so that was spontaneous too. But goddamn, see, there I go. I'm losing my damn train of thought.
Well, that's okay. If it derails, we'll bring it back.
Well, but I'm at Wicked South Productions, basically. You can find me there. But that whole point was to say, go check me out on TikTok, because I finally gave in to the talk tick, is what I call it.
And how can I find you on TikTok? I don't even know what you call it. What's your handle?
Skitzy Clown. Don't follow the Skitzy the Clown. That was my effort like 4 or 5 years ago, and it has like maybe me trying to play with the effects to Highly Suspect. Bath Salts was the song that I did. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, when Tom said he's got a TikTok, I'm like, you TikTok, Tom? All right, I'm doing it. So, but I realized, man, I had more followers in like a month than I did on Facebook and Instagram in like 2 years.
TikTok and Instagram Reels are the two really hot places to be nowadays. So I'm pretty much everywhere. I've just tried to put myself everywhere. It's a little cumbersome, and some of them are just kind of necessary evils, but same thing. And I'm sure that once people start seeing you on here and some of the other things you're doing, haunt season's coming up as well. So there's all kinds of opportunities coming up for people to see Skitzy. I'm sure you'll start a lot of people following you. Make sure you like his stuff, comment on it. That helps those algorithms. It'll help you show up on his feed. If you're a fan, you want him to show up on your feed. And the more you like his stuff, the more you do that, the more you'll show up. And stay tuned, because we're going to have some highly entertaining entertainment coming up.
Highly entertaining entertainment. I like
it. May not be under the influence of certain substances.
No.
I don't know if you've noticed, but everything's seemed to have a theme with my company, from Greened Out Productions to the Chronic Chronicles to Chronic Conversations to my blog, The Chronic Thoughts. We definitely
you keep it subtle, that's for sure, because that's what actually attracted me to you. I was like, does this have to do with that? Then I was like,
and it does. I know some people think it's all about that, but it's not. But it's such a big part of my life that I couldn't separate it. It's another part of me.
I'm fucking home, man. Yeah, I am home.
Y'all watch, man. We're gonna come up. Look, you got two crazy motherfuckers here gonna come up with some of the craziest shit you ever seen, that you hate and cringe to watch and can't stop watching. I'm telling you. Keep up with us. It's going to be great. Man, thank you for joining me. Like I said earlier, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you coming on here and taking your time, putting on the makeup and going through the effort to be on the show. And I
sleep in it. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, until next time, guys, we got some other podcasts coming out. I'll have some of the other actors that are going to be in some of my other projects on the show as well. And I'll keep you updated on things going on with me and Skitzy. And Skitzy, hang on with me right here while I wrap it up, brother, man. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me, man.
Appreciate you. Peace out.